So I had this idea that it would be fun to build a real-time 3D piano visualization to add some fun graphics to musical performances. This project is split into a couple pieces. The first piece is a program I made using Juice, which is a really great framework for making audio and MIDI applications. I run this program on this Mac, which is my go-to machine for music. It's also running Spectrasonics Keyscape in Logic, which is my favorite digital audio source for playing piano. So my Juice program sits here and listens for MIDI input from both the Roland and the MPK Mini. It sees when the keys and pedals are pressed on the Roland, and then when a bunch of different things happen on the MPK Mini. So for example, I get updates with the positions of these knobs when I turn them. The Roland is set up as the main piano input, and then the MPK Mini is just used as a simple interface to control a bunch of parameters for the visualization. The controller can also load a MIDI file and use that as the piano input source. Then I translate these MIDI commands into context-specific messages that I want to use for the visualization and pass them wirelessly over the network to the visualizer using Open Sound Control, or OSC, which is a protocol that can be used to talk between applications and machines and is really nice for projects like this. That brings us to this machine, which is running the main application, which I made using Unity. There are a few different instrument models you can choose from, which are roughly based on the dimensions of a Steinway Model D, a concert grand, a Model B, a classic grand, and a Model K, a professional upright. And I modeled all these pianos in Blender. So at its simplest, we can see the keys light up as they're played. I can control the intensity of that key lighting, as well as the color. Then on top of that, I can add some particles. I can control the number of particles being spawned, the duration these particles stay in the scene, their intensities, and the intensity of the turbulence they're experiencing. Note that these three particle effects have different heights. This height is controlled by the velocity of each key press, so the louder a note is, the higher the particles will go. These differing heights are accomplished by attracting the particles towards some spherical volumes above the keys, and I can control the radius of those volumes to make some orbs appear. In addition to the knobs, the keys on the MPK Mini can also be used to control various parameters and actions. I can control the colors that the particles sweep through while they're on screen, or they can just follow the color of the keys. Also, I made this rainbow mode that's one of my favorite settings. There's some functionality on these keys for saving and loading effect presets for when I find visuals that I particularly like. I can also control the camera position and the animation speed between the positions. I also set it up so that tapping the soft and sostenuto pedals controls camera changes as well, to make it easier to change angles while I'm playing something. So let's see an example of what the visualizer can look like in practice.